This podcast powered by AA Best Bail Bonds at 210-225-2121. Oficinas throughout San Antonio open 24/7. Stress-free bail bonds at 210-225-2121.
They call me the radio guy. I play Tejano music, it's my high.
The Radio Guys Podcast, bringing the Texas lifestyle to life. Nuestra música, nuestra cultura, nuestra tradición. Topics that affect and reflect who we are, whether you live in the Lone Star State, the 49 other states, or anywhere in the world. So welcome, everyone, to the only Tejano State of Mind podcast. And now, here are the Radio Guys, Jonny Ramirez and Mico Rodriguez.
Wow, and just like that, we're in episode 12.
Number 12 is bam. One, two, skip a few, it's number 12.
Number
Nice
12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What an experience.
First of all, big old shout out to 16-time Grammy winner, Mr. Gilbert Velazquez.
Hey.
El Mero Mero. And, of course, his brother, Albert Velazquez.
Technical director, yes,
Technical director. We
Yes, sir.
appreciate you guys. Thank you so very much. Yeah, episode number 12, dude.
I know, it's flying by.
Man, time flies when you're
When you're having
fun.
fun, yeah. And more and more people that want to thank them for liking and sharing the Radio Guys on Facebook and on X and on TikTok. And también, if you want to send us an email, you can do that. So we're set up for that at info@theradioguyspc.com. So send
There
us-
you go.
Yes, sir.
And we do want to thank everyone that's tuned in. We appreciate all of you that have, as Mico alluded to, shared and liked. By the way, if you do want to hit us up, you can, join our subscriber list. Mm-hmm. It's the Radio Guys Podcast. What are you doing?
I'm going to pretend like I'm playing.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because you really don't know how to play, do you?
No, I do not. I play the radio.
Okay, all right. But we do want to thank everyone. If you want to join, subscribe to our podcast. It's the Radio Guys Podcast, and our Facebook page is Radio Guys PC. By all means, subscribe, like, and just join the party. Do appreciate, as I mentioned, everyone. Want to say thank you to all the guests and artists that have appeared this year. By the way, this is the last episode, and I actually remember all of them.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, my
unlike the
goodness.
radio days when I
Yeah.
would wind up under a table, I wouldn't remember squat. I actually remember everything. So it is indeed. But thanks to everybody that appeared on the podcast, the radio DJs, obviously all the artists that have come in and graced their presence here on
And
the
it's
Gilbert
great. And have graced the stages for the
they have.
performances.
Well, it's not really a stage, but yes, they
Metaphorically speaking,
yeah.
Doctor.
As they say, they put their face into place right
There
here.
you go. I like
but
that.
But we do want to thank everybody. See, we're going to be off for the holidays, but I do want to remind everyone that next week, which is the 23rd, we'll have a Christmas special. Most of the artists that came in here gave us a little Christmas cheer, so we're going to put those together and run a Christmas special. Then on the 30th, it's going to be a best of. And what it is, it's all the performances that happened this year.
Oh, man, those
so we're going to
good
put them
ones.
all together and put a couple of special shows. So we'll just basically be off, what is it, the 1st, the 6th? No, the 6th, and we'll be back on the 13th.
Yes, that's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
To
And,
regroup and bring everything back.
Yeah, and I already got confirmation. We have, it's going to be a Pulido party, Gilbert.
Okay.
Roberto and Bobby going to be here on the 13th of January, so going to be good times. Recordando Nuestras Raíces coming up at the end of the show. We got a good one for you.
Yes, I'm excited about this one too. I'm excited about all of them, man.
Who we do this week?
This week, Narciso Martinez.
There you go. All right, okay.
Yes. Everybody knows him, like father of Tejano.
Yeah. Do want to say thank you to, obviously, our sponsor, AA Best Bail Bonds. Listen, folks, we don't plan to get thrown in jail, but it happens. Sometimes you're going, wait a minute, what the heck just happened? Why am I in the back seat of this car wearing new jewelry? Folks,
Y no viene de Amazon.
if it happens to you, do yourself a favor, everybody involved, and call our good friend Albert, his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Nobody beats her price. Payment plans available. They've got a free shuttle service, and my favorite part, discretion, the name of the game. Get your butt out of jail. Don't wreck the holidays, okay? It's supposed to be deck the halls, not wreck the halls. So get your butt out of jail quick. And anywhere in the Lone Star State, no matter where. Oficinas throughout San Antonio, open 24/7, 210-225-2121. Don't sign a PR bond. No need to call an attorney. Just call it Compadre Albert, his great staff. And again, license number 149, 210-225-2121. Tell them you heard it here on the Radio Guys podcast, and boom, te sacan de volada, even quicker. All right.
it.
Indeed, an honor, and we want to apologize. We had to switch here. What is it? Murphy's Law? You're the
Yes.
college boy. What is Murphy's
If
Law?
anything can go wrong, it will. Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah.
And,
And it's a Monday to boot, so there you
Yeah,
have it.
so we had planned Joe Posada to be here, but they played last night, and one of them came down with COVID, and he called me and he says, "Hey, I can still do it," and we're like, "Well, I don't know. Let me check with Gilbert," and because your mom is 80. What, Gilbert?
80. No, she's 22.
She's then I don't know
She's
what the
listening.
hell you're doing here,
Okay.
because then you must be one. No, but she's 80 something.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, we don't need to be spreading that to the elders.
Yeah.
My
my wife too. She's very
Yeah.
fragile.
Plus the fact
Yeah.
that I don't have an immune system because, I rolled my truck and they took my thingamajig out.
That thing that works actually
Yeah.
protects you. Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's the spleen.
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it was. I'll go see.
Let me explain it to you. But nonetheless, I don't have an immune system, so we've rescheduled Mr. Joe Posada, Mr. Westside. But joining us today, and it is indeed an honor, and first and foremost, it is a band that is the new crop of Tejano music that's coming up. The gentleman, Tweet, been squeezed in the squeeze box for other bands. We'll get into that here. But the beautiful young lady is Angelique. That's her real name.
It is. It
but
is.
because there's already an Angelique in Tejano,
Yep.
you've chose to use Angelica.
Correct. Yep.
Angelica Alcoser
Yes.
and Grupo Moneda. So fuerte aplauso
Yes.
for Angelica
Yes,
and
welcome.
Moneda.
Welcome.
Yes,
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Angelica and Tweet. So as we mentioned, Tweet, you've been squeezed in the box how long now, brother?
I'm going on about 27 years now.
Okay. And
Yeah,
you've played
so-
with, besides Elida, who else?
I played with David Martinez.
Okay.
I played with him for a good, about 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
I've done Raulito Navaira.
Okay.
I've helped out the Navaira crew for a while. Rigo and Destiny and them.
Oh, that's right, for Rigo's coming out party that he
Yes.
had.
Yeah,
and I don't
yeah.
mean
Saw
coming
you
out
there.
that
Hold on,
way.
Hold on.
compadre.
Yeah,
Hold up.
when he recorded Gloria and he was going to have a little boom, you were squeezing the box there
Right,
that
right.
night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I did that. I helped out Texas Latino for quite a few years también. And La Diferencia, Ricardo Castillon, La Diferencia. And so, yeah, I've helped out Chente.
Yeah.
Chente for about a year. I helped him out and stuff. So, I've
You've said it like
I've jumped around with a couple of bands.
Okay.
A lot of the guys around.
And Angelica, you probably don't remember, but you and I and JD, we met you in Vegas. 2019, 2020 maybe? It was the pool party.
2021.
20
yes.
was it 21?
It had to have been because I had just come into Tejano Music
Okay, so then
in 2021.
Yeah, you were with Sevi,
Yes.
and was it you also?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Yes.
So, yeah.
we were
that's-
just friends at that time.
Oh, okay.
Okay. all
Just
right.
friends.
Now they're friends
Not
with
that-
benefits.
yes, yeah, exactly. Now we're friends with benefits. Yeah.
There you
exactly.
go. Okay. What's the benefit? He gets to pay half the rent.
There you go.
Word.
Who's getting who's benefiting?
Who's getting the benefit?
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
man.
Next question.
Yeah, next question. For us old guys, they call it marriage, okay? Don't get married because the sex stops, okay? I'm just saying.
Oh, it's
No,
going to turn
but-
into that kind of show. Okay.
No, but
Yeah, I like the golf a lot, and everybody knows me being a golfer. But I got it for married men. Here, if you want to go golfing a lot, all you got to do is roll over, say, "Honey, intercourse or golf course?" And I'm golfing. Just saying.
Boom.
there you go. Well, I hope you're
He
better
doesn't
at
golf.
intercourse than you are on the golf course.
No, that's why I'm golfing a lot.
Okay, all right. Anyway, yeah, let's get back on track.
But yeah, 2021
okay.
in Vegas, right? Vegas Tejano Takeover.
Yeah.
And
Eddie,
that was my
playing
first
the
year.
pool party, matter of fact.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah,
that's
he
right.
was,
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah, so that was my very first year in Tejano Music.
Okay.
So I had been in maybe 4 or 5 months by that time.
Now, like a lot of bands, and even some of the old Tejano musicians, they've gone back and they're playing with cover bands because
Yep.
obviously they want to pick up a little extra cash.
Yes.
You know, the need, the desire, that drug to keep playing the
That's
music,
right.
Gilbert? It stays in your veins forever.
Yeah, I think so, man.
Yeah, it's kind of like being a radio jock. You know,
Right.
I'm getting paid squad right now, but I'm still on the radio. Damn it.
Still in the game.
Yeah, still in the game. But a lot of these guys are playing with cover bands.
Yes.
You started out with a cover band,
I
right?
did. I did.
Okay.
I used to sing in a cover band years ago, and then I stopped performing to raise my family. And then I ran into a couple people, and they said, "Hey, do you want to come back and sing?" And Gilbert was actually mentioning I used to sing with Celsius. It was a cover band for about 6 or 7 years, and
Okay.
then I said, I'm not getting any younger. I'm going to start my own band, and I started a top 40 band called Velvet.
Okay, so
Velvet.
back up your hot
Okay.
lips, because that red is
I
like.
run through it really quickly.
So raise my family. So you
Yes.
have children,
I have 2 kids. Yeah, I have
Get
2
out of
kids.
town.
I do. I
and you still look that good. Damn.
the science, science.
The husband's,
Way to go, Tweet.
I have a friend who says I suck the souls of babies, then that's how I remain.
That's
But
funny.
I do. My daughter graduated from Texas Tech University.
Wait a minute, she's a
four-time
college
national-
grad?
4-time national champion, and then I have a son who's at UTSA right now in his last
Wow.
year.
I'm not even going to ask how old you are because that is damn
No,
rude.
that is not allowed ever.
Yeah, not
ever.
allowed.
I don't tell anybody.
I
Just-
wouldn't ask, but
She's 22.
Yeah, I am.
She is 22.
I am. I
Okay.
started having my babies at 5, and that's just how it is. The miracles of science.
Yeah.
But yeah, so here I am, Tejano Music.
So you were doing Velvet,
Yes.
okay,
And still doing Velvet.
and then you run into this gentleman and Sevi.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, by pure accident.
So the story I hear is they needed somebody to lay some tracks down for some songs.
Correct.
You look Hispanic. You're Hispanic. You can
Yep.
sing in Spanish. So
Yep.
they used you, and they said, "Hey, wait a minute. We may have something here, right?"
Yeah, it was a friend of mine that I met a long time ago at Velvet shows, or I think it was Celsius. Anyway, I used to perform at Raffles. Does anyone remember Raffles? And he called during the freeze and said, "Hey, I wrote a song. I'd love for you to, lay down the dummy guide. They call it dummy guide. Doesn't mean I'm a dummy, but that's what they call it." And he said, "Go talk to my friend Sevi. He'll help you out." So went in there. We laid the track down, and it was so that he could sell it to some other vocalist. And I was asked, have you ever thought of recording professionally? And I'm like, no, but you want to do it? Okay, let's do it. And I read, write, speak Spanish, and so it wasn't, it was something that I've always been influenced by Tejano music, mariachi music, my family, as a young kid. And so, we did it. And from that, 9 months later, I gave birth to, 6 months, 9 months later, we had my very first album ever, Girls Night.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought they was going to say another kid.
I was kind of going along those lines.
2 years
and I was
old right now.
sticking with that. So
And so the name Moneda, was it conceived by both of y'all? You all get
It was.
together, drink a couple of beers?
we did,
you know?
actually. Yeah, we were in Dallas. But I will back it up a little bit further, is that it was there at the studio where he, love at first sight. It was, that whole...
Right when I walked in the door.
Yeah. Yeah, trust
and-
me, it wasn't love in the beginning, okay? It was all lust, okay?
But I heard his accordion in my ears when I recorded No
Right.
Quiero Que Me Toquen Otros Brazos, and he heard my voice, but we had never met. And so he tells a story that I was, writing my lyrics or doing something in the studio, and he walked in and he's like, "Oh, who's that?"
Who is this is?
Whose is this is? And they told him, don't start, don't start. And so we became friends. We became friends, and we would always run into each other, coincidentally, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
At the studio.
studio.
And then little by little we just started hanging out, and it just developed into our relationship, which and then together about a year later we just thought, I think it's let's start this band.
Yeah, let's do something together. I mean, we might as well. We're partners in life, so it's like, might as well be partners in music too,
Cool.
So,
And that is the one thing that I would say throughout my entire life, I didn't have that kind of support, and it just because it just wasn't my time at that
Right.
time. But it looks like you have a question.
No. I
Mico.
was just thinking, right? Because you came over from the cover bands.
Yes.
And then my question is, how did you kind of squeeze into the Tejano side of it? Was it just
Well,
for the love of the husband, love of the music?
love of the music, definitely. And it just was I'm the manager for Velvet. You know, I book, everything. They call me Angie Setlist Hair. You know,
She even sets up equipment, dude.
Oh yeah,
She's a
I mean,
roadie.
we
You a
have-
lucky man.
She's
we
the
have-
hottest,
Yeah,
the hottest looking roadie.
We
In
have
the game right
In the
now,
game,
for
yeah.
sure.
We have a full production. We have, we just bought a new mixer. Not that we even do our own production, but some gigs we may. And I told him, I said, hey, we might do our own production, these 2 gigs. And he's like, yeah, cool. So together, I mean, to have that type of partner in this means everything. And if you think about, Shelly with her dad and Stephanie and Gabe and Selena and her dad, and I'm trying to think of the other female Tejano
Elsa
artist.
Garcia, her
Elsa
husband.
Garcia.
Yeah.
There's always that partner that is there to support them, and I think that's extremely important. But I think having had the experience with Velvet and managing it and booking it, and paying musicians and switching musicians out when one cancels, you're like, damn it. And I have we have a roster, and I think the trust that I have already had in that community made it easy to transfer with this new band that we have with Moneda, because I've worked with a lot of these
Right.
musicians, and I've met so many amazing musicians in Tejano music. We've worked with everybody, right? We've
Oh, yeah,
worked with
definitely.
so many great musicians.
Right.
So I
'Cause
think the
you've
transition
got a
was
couple
easy.
of Emilio's old players with you right
Yes,
now, right?
Michael.
Julian.
Julian Escobedo was
Right.
with Emilio for what, 12
I
years?
think he said 12 years.
12
and
years.
The golden years.
Yeah.
you
So
know,
a lot
so-
of the old albums, that's Jules on that, So we're excited to bring him into the studio. Michael Rodriguez, we mentioned earlier that Mikey and little Eddie Bettis are going to be working together with us to produce the next album. And so, we had Mario Ortiz with us this past weekend. You know what I mean? So it's just, we work with everybody. And I feel blessed that they trust us enough to be on board with us. We'll call them right away. They call us, or they're willing to work with us.
Doing a cover band and then doing your Tejano band, 2 different types of crowds,
Yes.
and a lot of times it's probably the same crowd.
Yeah, it is.
But they're going out to a different environment, a different
Yes.
ambiance, a different vibe, whatever you want to call it. Where do you have more fun? Because covers are, obviously covers. In Tejano, you do covers, but you do some of the original stuff that you've come up with here along the last 2 years.
Yes.
Where do you have the most fun on stage?
Oh, that's a great question. I love doing it all. I
Okay.
love it all. So I think for me, just being on stage it's my therapy. I have fun doing both.
Right.
I will say that. I don't know. You see me from the outside in.
Well, and the
tweet
reason
when
I
I'm on
ask,
stage. Yeah,
the
it's a
reason
good
I
question.
ask is because a cover's a cover.
Right.
But when you both you guys and whoever you had in the studio,
Right.
whatever,
Right.
when you put something together, it's kind of like,
Yeah, that's your
one,
baby.
one of your kids.
Right. Right.
You bring them up and boom, you release it to
Yes.
the world.
Yes.
That is something that you guys, created.
Right.
As opposed to doing something that somebody else did.
Sure.
That
Right.
Everybody does covers at
Right.
some point in time.
Right.
Some bands still do.
Right.
So I was thinking that maybe the way you feel about the material you're performing is different because it's something you created as opposed to a cover.
Right. I mean, that is you have your some truth in that. I think the last time I sang Karma, I almost cried while I was singing it. And I think it's because I feel that particular song very deeply. So some of the other stuff, Quiero. I mean, it's definitely fun and amazing that you get to perform your original music. You know what I mean? That they actually hired you because they want you to hear that song.
Right.
The gig we just did in Big Spring last weekend, he was like, you need to play No Puedo. I need to hear No Puedo Vivir Sin Ti. And it's really cool to hear people say something like that, because you're like, oh, I didn't realize that No Puedo Vivir Sin Ti is something that somebody was really jamming out to. So in that respect, that is a great feeling. It really is. but I just love doing it all. And I hope that doesn't make me appear like a sellout. You know what I mean?
No.
Because I love what I do. I love performing. I love singing. You know.
And in that sense, you're not a sellout because I'm telling you, everybody's done covers.
Yes.
I mean, Gilbert is probably the king of covers because
Oh, come on, man, give me a break.
well, no, but come on, you've played
But you know
everybody's.
what?
Right.
Yes, in this, for whatever reason, this genre of music, you know, Little Joe, all that stuff he's done is all Jose Alfredo stuff that, you know, even Las
Right.
Nubes was a cover.
Yeah.
So there.
So
Yeah.
there.
So there.
Yeah. Who you fussing at, Gilbert? Dang.
Roll
But,
that
you
up
know,
and light it. Yeah, come on now.
And so, you know, it's one of those things. And I think, you know, in the 3 years that I've been in this business, I've heard so many things. You know, oh, she's a cover singer. Oh, she uses different musicians. She doesn't have her own band. Or, you know, the same band. Just a variety of things. And but you know, I think I continue just to remain true to what I know and do what I do and hopefully. And I think we're doing okay. I mean, we get calls for Velvet and equally
Right.
Moneda, and we sit back and we're like, huh, what?
So
You
how
know?
many calls have you gotten that say, we want you to do both? You know, your Velvet stuff and your
Actually,
Moneda stuff.
A lot.
Okay.
And
Because that's who we really are as an audience. you
No,
know?
truly. And I think because we can easily blend both, we're getting more and more calls for that. In fact, the gig that we did this past weekend was for North Park Mercury. I'm sorry, for North Park.
Yeah, that was the last gig of the year, by the way.
It was. Yeah, all of our musicians were like, hallelujah, we need a rest.
Yeah, she posted it. She goes,
but that's-
yes, last
but
gig of
that's-
the year.
That's Audi, Mercedes, and all
Right.
these fancy. I mean, there were probably 600 people in that place, right?
Oh,
it was
easily.
huge.
Yeah,
I was
easily.
like, huh.
So you do a lot of corporate gigs as Velvet?
A lot of corporate gigs as Velvet,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd never done any Tejano on that stage.
Okay.
And so I texted my contact and I said, hey, I'm thinking about sprinkling in some accordion. And I said, what do you think? And I said, or nah. I went like that, question mark. And she said, oh my God, please do it.
Yeah.
I did the same thing.
And they were dancing to the
Yeah.
Tejano stuff.
And
the
They had
cumbias.
they had the dance floor
Right.
was more with that
Country,
than the cover
Tejano,
stuff.
yeah.
You know.
Let me guess, when you did the Ramon Ayala tribute that you recorded, they went crazy,
yeah,
right?
they were all on the dance floor. And,
Yeah.
and you know, Tweet's the one who he's like, this is San Antonio, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Wellmed, when we do that gig, we started, so now it's the band Velvet it's blended. It's going to
Okay.
be blended. But I always say, you know, it's 98% English music with Velvet and then 98% Tejano with Grupo Moneda.
Now,
Okay.
when you guys are doing something together on Moneda,
Uh-huh.
okay, you together, are you the smart guy and know that you have to think twice before you argue with her?
We don't really argue, man. I already learned not to argue. Like there's no.
That is a smart man.
It's let's just let it roll. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
That's funny that you say that because we were talking about this. I had a little cookie bake with my besties, and they were like, "God, you're so different now." And I said, I think I'm different because he's different. You know, I'm not the same person that I was. So when he says we don't argue, we have fun. We just have so much fun together, and It's crazy. I hate to say, no relationship is perfect, but
No.
we play a lot.
Yeah, and with the
Poke at
music
each other.
together, like we work during the week, right?
Right.
So we're, I'm tired during the week, she's tired, and then when we do get to go play, that's, it's therapy for both of us, and it's not about who's right or wrong. It's just let's go have fun, let's go sound good, let's make sure our guys are get everything they need, and they're, so. It's pretty easy. We work very well together.
Yeah,
So.
and
Good. Congrats.
he did tell me today. I think just before we got here, he said something, and I forget what he said. I said, you know what? Nobody ever talks to me like that, babe. Nobody's really direct with me. I'm probably a little scary because I'm pretty direct. But I will say, about one song that I did this past weekend, he's like, I don't think people are vibing to that song because I looked around and I said, okay, we'll cut it, and I appreciate that kind of feedback because no one's going to really tell you the truth. Even our bass player, he after that, he's like, hey, were you a little, nervous about something? And I said, well, no. He goes, well, you kind of came across that way. And I was like, okay, well, and so I appreciate these guys who,
Yeah.
in Tejano music, you tell it like it is, they didn't there's no pussyfooting around shit. Yeah, I mean, stuff. My bad.
Oh, you're good. You're
Sorry.
good. Don't
There's
worry.
no, you know what I mean? My bad.
No,
So
you're good. Don't
I
worry about it.
appreciate the
Yeah.
fact that they're going to be direct with me, and I got to be a big girl about it, you know, and take that feedback. So we
Okay.
work really well together.
Well, I mean, he has been around La Onda Tejana
He
just,
has.
you know, a couple of days before you.
Yeah, lots of years, at least 20 years.
A minute or two before.
I'm like,
yeah.
what? Yeah.
So doing Tejano for 2 years, is it everything you expected? Is it, you know, has it met your expectations, I guess?
You know, I'm definitely enjoying. I love being in the studio. I love that.
See, I don't get that about people because most people go to the studio, and Gilbert, am I right? Most people hate studio time. They come in.
No, they don't. They don't want to pay for studio time.
Well, no, they don't want to pay for studio
yeah,
time.
we don't
right?
either, Gilbert.
Yeah, but most people come into the studio and they're going, okay, let's get this over so I can get the heck
No.
out of here and have fun. Am I right?
I guess it's 50-50. There are those that, you know, let's get this over with. You can fix that later. We're
Yeah.
out. And
Okay.
others will be really micromanagement is
Oh no.
Well,
not
what
a good
about
thing.
I think as an artist, it's your greatest form of expression to be able to create something from scratch
Right.
and it becomes this thing. You know
I
what I
get
mean?
that part.
Yeah.
But there's nobody there to,
Oh,
you know,
oh, no.
appreciate it other than the people in the band. However, when you're on stage and you're doing
Yeah.
that creation that you know, created a few months back in the studio, then is when you get it, for
Right.
lack of better terms, the accolades that you want is the applause, the singing along, the cheering, all that stuff.
Well, sometimes I think if that's what you're in it for the accolades and the applause, and then
And-
maybe it's not the right. You know what I
Well,
mean? But I understand.
Yeah, by
I-
accolades, I don't mean actual
Oh,
awards, but just
sure.
that, because a lot of people consider that's the
you
best
feed off
award.
that. Yeah, yeah,
You
you
know,
do feed off-
somebody singing your song, somebody,
yeah.
you know, and you're going, oh, damn, they're singing the song.
Yeah, they're mouthing the words. Yeah,
you know.
no, that's amazing too. I don't know. I just love being in the studio because I want to see what we can create. You know, of course, you want it to be great. You know, you're hoping that that's the one. You know, so I think of everything. I do love that experience because I've not been doing it that long. You know.
Right.
Whereas he may have he may have done it for a long time. I think it's as far as what I expect out of Tejano or what I've experienced. I've been very proud of the momentum of where we've come. I think, you know, that we've been able to play in Colorado and Wisconsin and Arizona. You know, they've called us out. We have a call for Chicago right now. And I'm like, why do they want us? You know what I mean? You know, just, so I'm really proud of that.
Right.
I think I've been told that, you know, it doesn't happen that quickly for some people. And some people have been in the business for females 10, 12 years and some males, and they're not getting that momentum. But I think it's because, again, some of the experience I have brought over from being with Velvet. I've never traveled with Velvet, so traveling has been different for me. And some of the guys in our band that have been with Emilio, our drummer, Chuy Rodriguez, Jesse Chuy Rodriguez has played with Michael Salgado. They're kind of tired of the road, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they'll go, you know, a fuerzas, a huevo, as they say, as they say. And that's the other. I've learned so much Tejano lingo. It's like crazy. I mean, you know. But so you know, I don't know. There's a lot more that we want to do, and I don't know if I actually answered your question or not. Probably not. There are some things that I see that are like, I don't know, you know. But I continue to focus on my own path and my own goals and my own, you know, thing. And I don't worry about what that person's doing, this person's doing, this band, that band. We just drive
Stay
forward.
in your lane.
We stay in our lane for sure.
And I guess, you know, back because 30 years ago, you know, 20 some odd years ago,
I was only
there
10.
was a boatload of radio stations.
Yes.
Big stick FMs, as we used to call them.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're, you know, far and few in between because, you know, corporate radio has taken over
Yes.
the airwaves. And for whatever reason, they believe in the almighty dollar. And if that burger joint's not selling burgers, we're going to shut it down or we're going to start selling hot dogs or whatever.
Right.
Whatever makes money. So a lot of those big stick FMs that used to do Tejano have gone other routes, be it Latino mix, norteño, whatever, whatever, whatever the soup of the day is, right? and whatever's going to make them the most money. And I laugh sometimes because people in communities say, we deserve, it's our right to have a Tejano station. I'm like, oh, show me where in the Constitution it says that, because that's a private business and they can pretty much do whatever they want with it.
Yeah.
The fact that we don't go out and support our artists at the events by buying their music and stuff like that, I think that's where everything starts to fall apart, because like, oh, I'll go see him next week. They're going to be at Market Square. I'll go see him next week. You know, Fiesta's coming up. They're going to be playing 2-3 times during Fiesta. So that's, I guess, was part of the question is, are you disappointed in the fact that, you know, radio is not as big as it used to be for the Tejano artists? And then every so often you run into assholes like me. They're going, that song doesn't have a hook, sweetheart. We can't really play it.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, radio
That
still
still
plays
matters,
by
right.
those rules.
Sure.
If a song don't have a hook, chances are it could tell the greatest story ever,
Right.
and you know, can paint an image. But if it don't have a hook,
Right.
am I right, Gilbert?
Yeah.
Wake up, Gilbert. Wake up, Gilbert.
It's hard to find that hook. Somebody might hear it, somebody else
Sure.
might not hear it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I will say this. I think I've relied a lot on the people who I work with who have the experience in Tejano music. But, you know, and shout out, of course, to Lorenzo Papo Banda, who produced our EP Karma, who is a bass player for Elida Yavante, and they're about to go on, you know, their farewell tour. You know, I rely a lot. I have relied a lot on, you know, this studio that I was at first. You know, Tweet, Papo, and of course I will Little Eddie. But I think I sometimes forget that I also have been in the music business for a while on my own, and I know what I like, I know what I feel, and so little by little I'm starting to, you know, say, I'm not digging that song. You know,
Right.
this is the one that I want to do. And someone recently said, if you don't want to sing it live, then it's not if you wouldn't want to sing it live,
Right.
or if it's not something you love,
Yeah.
then don't record it.
But I think sometimes artists go through these stages, and I've, you know, from personal experience, one of the best bands that I ever saw performing, and they made some great music, but it wasn't what we call radio friendly.
Right, right.
And I'm referring to, you know, Lucky Joe, Frijoles Románticos. They were a great
Oh, yeah,
band, dude.
great.
They
Yeah.
All my
kicked-
friends,
they
yeah,
kicked
they're
ass.
Talented, talented.
However, the songs
Sure.
were like, dude, what were you guys smoking? That's a great song.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It tells a great
Yeah,
story,
right.
but it doesn't have a hook. It's
Right.
not
Right.
radio friendly.
Right. And so we've had some people reach out and tell us that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to tell us, you know, you need to, you know, think about the music, you know,
Right.
think about it having a hook. It needs to have a hook. So that's one of the things. Every little bit of feedback that I get, I try to put it in motion. I always, all those little bits and pieces, you know, because that helps me. It helps me. I've never done this before, and I want to do it well.
Right, you're learning as you go, and I think as an industry, everybody is, because now, you know, like John said, 20, 30 years ago, the radio stations out the kazoo.
Right.
Now there's places that people go through, like social media, that try to
Sure.
bypass that.
Oh, yeah,
and,
that's
you know,
very
there's a whole
important, too.
different set of rules. I guess
Yes.
are you guys finding your way and feeling your way? I guess you're learning as you go.
Social media wise, or
No, she's
still?
got the social media part
Yeah,
down.
I love it.
No, I mean, but presenting like content in a song that will get out there. Are you thinking, when I record this and I sing this, how do I want to get this end user? How do I
Right.
want to,
I still need to work on that. I think a little bit. And maybe it's because I didn't like the song. I don't know. You know, maybe that's why I don't. You
that
know,
makes
somebody
sense.
always asks me, why do you put another song behind your videos? You know, why don't you put your song? And so, you know, it's one of those things that little by little, you know, I'm working towards
Right.
doing some, you know, doing better in that respect.
I think as well too, like with Moneda, we're still finding who are we as a band. What is our sound like?
Right.
I think we're still in the experimental stage of things. So, you know, that's where we're at right now. I think it's been going really good, really great. Actually, the past couple of recordings we've done, but I mean, is that really who we are yet or not? So I
Right.
think we're still kind of going there, you know. And when she gets in the studio, I mean, it's she brings the song to a whole nother another level. So it's like, okay, so now we got to step it up in the studio. You know what I mean?
Homeboy's getting lucky tonight.
But yeah, I mean, I
might
think that's
cook.
where we're at right now. So
Yeah.
you know, we're still trying to figure out who we are, what our sound is, and
Yeah.
you know, we're experimenting a little more than we probably should. But I think we need to figure out who we are. You know,
Right.
as a band and a sound.
And as long as I've been in the Tejano music business for 3 or 4 years now, the band is fairly new still, you know, so about a year and a half. But you know, we're working towards that, towards, you know, continuing to improve. And the last song that we did, we were really excited. Juan Trevino, Gilbert asked, you know, how are you getting your music? He reached out to us and said, hey, I have a song for you guys. And I think it should be this. So Juan Trevino, as you know, he was last year's Latin Grammy winner for Album of the Year. And
Writer
so,
out of Houston.
yes, yes. And so, you know,
Palominos and so many others.
Oh, yeah.
Intocable,
amazing.
him recorded
Elida,
his
you know,
songs, yeah.
so an amazing, you know, so I just find myself constantly just, you know, being blessed that someone would even think of us, you know, and to you know, sing one of their songs. So
Well, but I tell her, I was like, you have a great vocal. Your vocals are good. I mean, as we keep doing this and recording more and more, and people
Right.
hear you more and more, they're gonna start sending stuff. Like, it's just, I
Yeah.
think, yeah. I mean, her vocal's great. So it's like, let me see what she can do for my song. You know?
So, Tweet, being in the business as long as you have, would you say that that's the only thing that is missing from Moneda? You need that one big hit, the signature song that almost every band that's been around for 20 years has, like Luna Llena,
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
Te Quiero Te Amo, like Las Nubes, like Que Chulos Ojos by the Latin
Rosas
Breed.
para
Yeah.
una,
You
rosas
know,
para una
I would
rosa.
say yes. If
Yeah.
we can get there, and I'm very confident that we will get there. I don't know when, but I think it's just one of those things that it just happens, and you're like, wow, like we just created something. And I mean, because sometimes even if we're creating it in the studio, we don't know if it's gonna hit or not. You know what I mean? We don't know if the crowd, the people are gonna like it or not. You know, we
always
might
think,
like
this
it,
is
but
it, this is it.
you
And
know,
then
we
it's
can't. We can't just cater to ourselves as musicians. Like, we have to cater to the people, right?
Right.
I like that you said that. Yeah.
And
Well,
so,
see, and
but yes,
live music, people get into whatever you're playing.
Right.
See,
Sure.
that's different environment than
Yes.
being in a studio,
Yes.
in a booth called radio. It's interesting because I'll use a little 6 or 7-year-old. I'll play a song for them, and if the hook sticks in their head, that's a great song. Because
Can we
it's kinda-
borrow that 6-year-old? Can we borrow him tomorrow?
if they can remember the hook, you know,
Right.
like that's why kids love Selena's music.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, great songs like, you know, Te Quiero Te Amo by David Lee.
Right.
Yeah.
Paloma Sinidal. All those songs have great hooks.
yes.
And I think that still holds true.
Yes.
I
However,
agree.
when you're live, it doesn't matter, dude, because
Right.
you're dancing, you're having a good
Yeah.
time, and, you know, she's good to look at, dude. She's,
Yeah.
she's good on the
Definitely,
eyes. So, I mean,
definitely.
that is kind of like,
Thank
well,
you.
damn.
But yeah, we are. I mean, yes, that's what we're striving for right now. Is that one song that's gonna, you know, that's
Yeah.
gonna be the hit for us, and
And
hopefully we find it soon.
Yeah, and you know, Mike and little Eddie are, you know, they're talking about some things. I'm like, huh, really? Okay, yeah, let's do it. You know, so they've got some really fresh ideas that we're excited about.
Yeah.
Really
So-
excited about.
and I
Putting
think-
all the ingredients in to find that special formula for you guys.
Yes.
That's going to
Yeah.
work for Moneda.
For sure.
Yes.
So you're
For sure.
still in that,
Yeah.
in that phase.
That's
yeah.
where we're at right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're fairly new band, so I mean, I think we're going on year 3 right now.
I think so.
Oh, this year will be year 3 for Moneta as a band, as from us starting to
solo
record
artist.
and stuff
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
So
And
we're fairly new still.
I think what helps you is you're open to pretty much everything.
Oh, yeah. Everything.
Gilbert, did you have a comment you were going to throw in there a little while ago?
You know, the senior moment has arrived. I forgot what it was.
Okay,
Damn.
not a problem.
Next time we'll come to you.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a break to
Soon.
get in there, but you guys are going and going. I forgot what the heck I was.
Oh, that's okay. But yeah, you know, I love to sing rock. I love to sing ballads. I love mariachi. I love, you know, so rancheras. I mean, conjunto. I love all of it. So it doesn't matter what, you know, I wanna do it all. I wanna do it all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah. So any influences of those pop, whatever that we can feed into Tejano music and make it sound Tejano. We always want to stay true to what Tejano music is, you know, and we always want to do that as well because, you know, we say that, we talk about that, we want to remember the audience, you know, the
Right.
fans are what are going to make you or break you
Well,
too.
And we've had
And
that,
Johnny Ramirez, you know what I'm saying?
we've had that lingering conversation here for the last 3-4 podcasts. Is that our concept of Tejano is different from the
It is.
22-year-old's
Sure.
concept of Tejano, and it's okay to hang on to the past. However, I think we need to evolve. And maybe you start to look at different ideas so you can get that 20-some-year-old to like coming to your show,
Yes.
to liking the Moneda music.
Well, one of the things that helped, I think, is a lot of the Velvet fans that I've had and followers are now going to our Tejano shows. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So I think that was a nice little bridge for us. People who hadn't been listening to Tejano music in a long time are now listening to our music. You know, so that's kind of a neat after effect of me moving into Tejano music. So.
That works because it's always been reflected, whether it's pop music. Pop music has always been reflected by the Tejano
Yes.
genre.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that fits right in. So that's a good little formula there.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
worked.
Yeah,
I like that.
it works for us. It does work for us, and we are seeing quite a few Tejano bands who are now adding a lot of English music into their set,
Right.
and it does well. I mean, financially, it's a good idea. We
Well,
do.
and Rigo and Destiny have kind of gone back to the stuff that was happening in the 70s and recorded
Yep.
some bilingual cuts.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you've given it any thought, but it would have to be a great song.
Right, right.
Definitely.
I think we have one song that was sent to us that has a one word in English. You know what I mean? So it's not heavy
Yeah.
in that respect, but we got some things brewing, so we're excited. We're excited about the music.
So we were, talking earlier. Back in the day, obviously, everybody would record at least one. When the majors were here, when the major labels,
Yeah.
everybody was recording minimum one album a year. Some
Right.
bands were recording 2 albums, right, Gilbert? The big bands like the Masses, the David Lees, the Emilios of the world.
So back not so long ago, these people, they were always in the studio.
Yeah.
It was a yearly thing, and you're right. In 1 year, they might do 2 records.
All of a sudden, the majors leave, and
Right.
everything just gets kind of lax. And now some bands have given us 1 album in 2 years. Other bands no longer albums,
Right.
they're EPs. Complacency, as far as I see it, and again, I'm just a dumb jock, and I just see things from afar. But to some extent, complacency is not killing our onda, but to some extent,
Yeah.
I guess stifling the growth.
Sure.
Because
Right.
there is no new stuff, like back in the 90s, everybody was young, everybody was
Right.
creating new stuff, hot stuff, and we were in high school, so 17,
So that's
18-year-olds,
why- Right, right.
and now it's just, they're just complacent. You were talking about having some new material coming up here next
Right.
year. How many songs are you contemplating?
Well, it's funny that you asked that because Mike comes from the old days, the
Right.
90s. And so he's like, no, let's do a full album. And little Eddie's like, well, nowadays, that's not done anymore. It's EP, And we asked another person, I went to a Grammy mixer, and they were like, well, it's more EPs now. And for us at this moment, it's a time issue. It's a time issue. We want to be done with this next project by, May,
Let me say
May,
something here.
June. Yeah.
Into Cable, they don't do EPs.
No, they do full
They
albums.
do full albums.
Yeah.
Little Joe don't do EPs.
He does
All right.
full albums. No, and
No,
to,
yeah.
to his point,
EP? What is it?
It's an album. Gilbert could probably answer this. I just learned that it has to be at least 16-minute
Music.
Music,
Typically,
worth of
maybe
music.
6 songs.
what does the
6-7.
acronym
At least.
stand for,
Yeah,
Gilbert?
Extended play? I
Oh,
don't know.
okay.
EP.
I thought LP was for long play.
Yeah.
Extended plays when they had an
Yeah.
LP
Yeah.
plus
Right.
additional tracks.
And now, Gilbert, did the EP come along after COVID?
No, that started before that, but
It did,
it's really,
okay.
Yeah.
as of late, it really kind of
And if you think about it, we were talking about it earlier, right, Gilbert? That back then there were the label, the record labels that would help artists pay for their projects or albums. I mean, Tweet and I, we come out of pocket on this.
Well, the labels
you
would
know.
pay for the
Right.
album, but then
Right.
at the end of the day, the artist wouldn't get any residuals. Am I right, Gilbert? That's how they would pay
Is
themselves
that
back.
how that would work?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, so that.
So there's
yeah.
a lot of factors involved. We work full time and we're musicians. And we need to get in the studio. So when I say like, woohoo, this is my last gig of the year, tomorrow we're in the studio.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we're in the studio, and we've got to finish this. I mean, we're going to be working hard, so I think sometimes there is some complacency involved. Our goal is to put out an EP or album every year. Every
Right.
year. Till I
working
go see
I
Jesus.
think we're working our way to the full album now.
Yeah.
So that's really where we want to be at, is a full album every year.
And don't get me wrong.
And
you
it
don't,
might be it might turn into a full album. Don't
Okay.
challenge me. Don't you go challenging
I
me.
dare you.
Don't go challenge. Yeah, don't double dog dare me, because I'll tell you.
triple
But like
dog
she
dare
said
you.
too,
I'm a
like
pusher.
tomorrow we'll be in the studio, and then after that, like we're already starting to work on, okay, what songs are we doing next year? Because we don't want to just keep playing the same
Right.
songs every year
Right.
with our band. So it's time to brainstorm on what are we doing for our show for next year for
Right.
2025. So it's always something.
And the music we're reviewing for this EP or album, this project, it goes beyond 6 songs. So we're already, do we do an album or do we do a volume 2? You know what I mean? That's
Right.
literally in our text messages, in our group text yesterday. How are we going to do this? So it may turn in. We've got so much really good. I think it's good music that it might turn into an album. We'll see.
And I know that nowadays it's basically because of cost that artists are doing 2-3 songs. I get that part because it's expensive.
It is. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you can still do a full album. You don't have to put it on disc. You can just put it up on all the platforms.
You mean
so
when
long
it's
as
done?
So when it's done, so long as you 10 songs,
You can.
11 songs, however. Obviously, if you want to sell some stuff at your shows, then you produce, a few hundred, a few thousand CDs, and you rock and roll that way.
I think the other thing that is important is staying relevant, and so in the industry, and so that's, you're going to push yourself with with your social media. You're going to be doing all this stuff, but then what are you doing that's music related? So I think you're right. Maybe not doing a song a month, but maybe one every 2 or 3 months. I don't know, because I feel like you still have to put something out. But I think you're right in saying maybe not just constant singles, all the time, and saving it for the album.
Right.
So I don't know. What do you think, Tweet?
No, I mean, I think
That's what I think.
just do we want to work to get, do a full album, and you just release singles on the way as you're working on the album.
Right.
I think that's the best way to do it. But yeah, I think timing is everything with,
It is,
as well too.
sure.
And who you're working with, it's studios that you're working with too. I mean, there's different variables that come into play. So we're still figuring that out as well. We're still in the middle of doing that too. We're learning as a band together. We're learning, how to manage this thing, and I think we're getting better at it. So we need another, I think within the next year or so we'll have it down pretty good. And like I said, my goal is to do a whole album in a year. Like, let's do an album a year.
Right.
I think that'd be the best way to go.
So are you still roadieing?
No, I am. I'm the roadie.
Like I said, when I was thinking that maybe Tweet wouldn't be on stage with us, then he then is part of the production team.
Right.
So I see like Steph all gorgeous and beautiful on stage, and I'm like, damn, I'm still changing in the bathroom, because I'm roadie and having a roadie. I can't do my hair, But lately we've been hiring it out. We hired a West Texas team. They did an amazing job. They've already hired us back to go back to West Texas in May. So, in the coming year, I will be doing a couple roadie. I will be a roadie for at least 2 gigs that I can think of right now.
Yeah.
So, but I'm gonna do whatever it takes, and I'm a pusher. And he's like, "What's the deal? When do we get in the studio?" So, but I'm, our team will get a text at 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning. That's when I remember everything, and when are we going to do this? And we do this, and you know what I mean? So we're always busy. We're busy.
The in thing now is naming your tours. You know, everybody's got a name for the tour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we don't do that.
We're not there yet.
Almost.
You can't call it a tour if you're just going to West Texas once a year. You know what I'm saying? I don't count.
Yeah.
No, you know, we don't do that.
It's the tacos tour.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't appeal
We're
to me
not
to
there
do that.
yet. I mean, I don't think we're not on any tour. We haven't been on a tour.
We're on the
as a
tour of
band,
Italy
so-
at Olive Garden. That's the only tour that's what we're doing. You know what I'm saying?
So here's one. If I wanted to introduce you to, you know, compadre, comadre, way out in like Brady, Texas, or in Avon, Minnesota, how would I introduce you? I mean, what would they need to know about you, or would you want them to know about you? Or West Texas, you're from San Antonio, Texas, and
She's from San Antonio, from here, from the west side. What is it, Highway 90 and
Ahí en
Puro
Highway
Hueso.
90, Puro Hueso, Highway 90,
Where'd you
and
go to school?
Memorial High School.
Mustangs.
No, Minutemen.
Minutemen, yeah.
Minutemen. And
I'm
then
thinking of the Valley.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I did go to college. Many years later, I graduated from Incarnate Word with a business degree.
Oh, dang.
So, yeah.
That's that fancy school.
I
They
used
even
my
got a
401k
football-
to pay for that.
They even got a football
I ain't
team.
got no
now.
debt.
Yeah.
I got no debt.
You got no debt.
No, I used my 401k. So, you know, yeah, so.
yeah, I'm from West Texas, from Big Spring, Texas, born and raised. Graduated from there. From there, I came to San Antonio right out of high school, and you know, followed the Tejano dream, as they call it. You know, and you know, I feel like I've had a great career though. I've been blessed to play with amazing musicians, to record mini albums, and you know, so it's been a fun ride.
Besides the squeeze box, what else do you play?
Well, I just recently bought a bajo quinto, which I
Okay.
started playing that when I started playing accordion, but
Yeah.
then I shied away from it. So now I'm getting back into doing it again. So
He was
it's
actually
fun,
changing
yeah.
out the strings
I was-
on
yeah,
it
I was doing it
yesterday,
yesterday, yeah,
which I
so-
was in my head. You know, I'm never gonna. I was like, does he know how to do that? But I didn't say it to him. And I was watching TV, little TV, and I heard him play the Ramon Ayala, our El Rey del Acordeon song, and I heard him playing the bajo. I was like, dang, okay.
They're like, oh, he can.
all right,
He knows
okay.
he knows a little something there.
One less musician I gotta pay.
That's that business degree. I like
So
it.
this
yeah.
is they're gonna put
Wait,
it
so-
to use.
Wait a minute. What do you mean pay? He hadn't gotten a check in a
Exactly,
minute.
yeah.
He gets paid other ways. We're very.
Cuerpo
Nah,
mático.
okay.
Cuerpo mático.
I cook a good scrambled egg. You know what I'm saying? That's how he gets paid. With my. Anyway, but yeah, West Texas boy right here, and he never says it. You know, we just were able to see all the Grammys over there in the hallway. Man, I needed my sunglasses. All of Gilbert's Grammys
All that
over there,
gold
all
in
that
there.
gold up in there. Dang, Gilbert. But Tweet did get his Latin Grammy while he was a part of the Elida Yavante team.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he never says it. I always say it. Everybody's probably
So
tired of me.
do you have it front and center somewhere in
Oh,
a
yeah.
special room?
You know, for a long time, I had it in my closet, probably for about close to 9-10 years. It was in the closet, and then finally I brought it out, and I was like, you know, let me.
Little display case and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
It's just out there.
It's
you know.
there.
Shine it up every
But
so
we did buy some cleaner on it, and I was like, dang, look at that shine up. So it's right there, you know, not too close, because he won't let it get too close to my Tejano Music Award.
This is my new paperweight. Check my paperweight.
No. Oh no, I'm so proud of him for having that, and you know, it gave him a little boyfriend cred, you know. So
Gave me some points.
give him a few. All right, he's for real.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
Let me see what he's about.
Yeah, and
Now-
half the rent. Okay. come
You
on.
mentioned the Grammy. Now you guys are a part of the Texas chapter?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're part of the. I'm part of the Texas chapter of the Latin Grammys, and then I was also. Who knows why they accepted me into the American Grammys
Okay.
as a member, as a new member. So I'm a new member, and you know, and I, you know, people are like, well, why did you do that? Well, I kind of want to. I love to know everything there. I want to just know everything there is about this music business.
But it's better to have somebody that knows the music because, you know, Gilbert and I were talking and, you know, if it's an Anglo person, and no disrespect if you're
To the
watching this
Anglos.
podcast to the Anglos, because
Wow,
I got a
Johnny.
lot of Anglo friends, but to them, mariachi music is the same as norteño, is the
Sure.
same as, Flaco Jimenez, the
Right.
same as Little Joe. They put us all in one pool and that's it.
Yes.
There's no distinction.
Right.
But I was telling Gilbert, I said, well, we kind of are the same way when, we come across like blues.
Country or country music. Yeah. There's
But I
so
mean,
many different, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I worked country for a long time, so I know a little bit about
Sure.
country.
Yeah.
But blues, to me, is like people are going, that all sounds the same there, Johnny. I was
Right.
like, well, it's not, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, right, Gilbert? I mean, it's not that they're racist. It just is
No.
what it is. They
No,
don't know
they don't
enough
know.
about the
They
music,
don't know,
right?
Right.
Yeah, they're not familiar with it, so to them it all sounds the same.
But so it's
Banda
good.
music might all sound the same.
Right.
To
Yeah.
some of us in this room here, right?
Yes.
Well, yeah, they think that banda is like Latin breed because, well, he's got a tuba and they got
Yeah.
they got
Right.
it's
All the
all the
horns.
same,
Yeah,
all
all
the
the
horns
horns.
right there. But I mean, I think it's good to have people that actually produce, create Tejano music as a part,
Oh,
of
my
the
gosh.
Grammys because you can go.
Absolutely.
You can be the
I'm
next Gilbert of the future. I'm going. No,
I'm gonna
that's
be.
not the same.
I know. And you know what? When I was in that room the other day, I was like, wow, we're in here. These San Antonio Mexicanos and, it was really, I was really proud. It was a really proud moment because you're mixing your networking and you're mixing it up with people who are into R&B and, just, all sorts of genres, And, I just want to learn more about the music business, not even just Tejano, does not at all mean that I'm interested in doing any crossover or I'm here to stay. I want to stay here, and of course I'm going to take me wherever the road leads us, right? But that's not my reason.
And
that's
it's okay
not my
if you want
reason.
to.
And it's not my reason. I just want to really learn more about music, the music business.
Right.
And maybe that's that's because I just like to know all the intricacies of that, of everything that I'm involved in. So, but anyway, it's really exciting to be a part of that.
And by the way, we've got their information on the screen right now. And Albert, if you do me a favor and put it back up, if you want to book Moneda, and like she said, they've been to Minnesota,
We've been to Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
We've been to Colorado, Arizona. We've got a call for Chicago. I'd like to hit all 50 states, all right?
There you go.
In this year, 2025.
Yeah, not in the wintertime, but
No.
Si se puede.
yeah,
Si
but
se
their,
puede.
their phone number there for booking is there. They're monedamusic.com, and you can find them on Facebook at just
Everywhere.
Moneda, right?
Grupo Moneda or Angelica Alcoser. I have like 1 billion social media accounts. I have a Velvet account, so, but yeah, you can find us everywhere. We're always posting. I'm always posting. Sorry if I annoy you guys.
No, you don't annoy. I'm like, okay, girlfriend, you work. I mean, that's what it's for as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
Yes.
Social media
Yeah.
is
It
to
is.
work
Definitely.
at whatever you got. Your
Sure.
product, you put it up
Yeah,
there.
our brand. And we're, we try to keep it classy, keep it, we want to represent the Tejano industry in a respectful, demure manner. No, a respectful and,
No negativity.
Yeah,
Did
we
you
want
say
to.
demure?
Well, because you know that TikTok,
Yeah.
very demure.
That was
very
like the word of
respectful,
2024. You know that, right?
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
That's
I was
why I
like-
said it.
I was like, really? Demure is a
No,
word
I
for
didn't mean
2024?
that. I didn't mean that.
No.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we want to represent it in the most positive way that we can.
Yeah.
Es todo.
Kudos.
Demure, dude.
Demure.
Demure.
I'm still trying
Demure.
to figure in my head. The manure? ¿Qué qué?
What she say?
What did you say?
¿Qué dijo?
Menudo.
¿Qué dijo?
I like
All
that
right.
word.
So
no.
tell me that you love to have your tacos.
Ooh. Well, I'm always dieting. Pero me gusta comer. That's not.
Okay.
I love to eat. What do I eat? I like.
She
but
likes the bean and cheese with bacon. My man.
I
Who
do.
doesn't, right?
I do.
Who
That
doesn't,
is my
right?
favorite.
Who doesn't like
I
that
love
one?
bean and cheese and bacon. That's
See,
my thing.
but bean
Yeah.
and cheese, that's a San Antonio
Yeah,
thing.
for
Being
sure.
from
Is
the
it?
valley, I'm like,
No, yeah.
Más
like-
que no salgas con un vegan taco.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
Oh no. I like to eat. I like to eat.
You're
so,
from San Antonio.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's my problem. But whatever.
I'm
How
all
about you?
barbacoa. Let's go
There you go.
barbacoa.
Yeah.
Every weekend. Gotta have it.
gotta
Yep.
have that
Gotta have it.
barbacoa and Big
Yeah.
Red.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I did want to mention here, like I said, we're done with our gigs for 2024, but January 5th through the 12th, we're going to be on the Tejanos in Paradise.
Oh, one of
cruise.
the cruises.
Yeah, this is the
Okay.
first time that we've performed on a cruise. So they called us, I don't know, more than a year ago,
Whose
I guess.
cruise is that? Is that Johnny's?
That's Johnny's.
Yeah, that's Johnny's.
Yeah.
Tejano's in
Johnny
Paradise.
Martinez. Yeah. Okay.
So
I'll be
we're gonna.
there.
You're gonna be there.
You gonna be
Yes.
there?
Nice.
Hi. Well, why don't you do the acoustic song with us, Gilbert?
That could work.
Okay,
All
you, me,
right.
and Tweet.
Wow.
We'll practice
We'll
right
talk.
after this.
Sounds
Yes.
good.
No, I'm kidding. It'll only cost you $500, Gilbert.
Oh, so,
Imagine.
so you're actually
Imagine.
on that cruise?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the one I was telling you about.
Oh, okay. All right.
What are the dates again?
January 5th through the
Through
12th.
the 12th.
Okay,
Yeah.
wait back.
So it's coming up. It's coming up.
No, he
Huh?
already asked me. He was like, "Hey, are we going to be on the 6th? Because I'm not going to be here." And I'm going, "No, man,
You
we're
have
not
a
back to the
good Gilbert
13th."
impersonation. You have a great Gilbert impersonation.
That and his
So,
little stick. Yeah. Little
Dang.
Hitler quiz.
Yeah, yeah. And then after that, we're going to be doing the San Antonio rodeo. We're going to be in the Austin rodeo. We're going to be
Okay.
doing some HCA rodeo, something or other, at the end of January.
Obviously, it'll be a part of Fiesta.
We'll be a part of Fiesta.
Fiesta.
We're going back to Big Spring. We're going to be Watermelon Thump again, I think. Bunch of, so it's like so cyclical, the back probably to a fanfare, probably to, you know what I mean? So
Right.
it's all very cyclical.
And it's all on Moneda.com. You've got your tour schedule there?
Yeah,
Pretty
even
much?
even if it's a Velvet show, I'll throw it on there, and
Okay.
I'll put Velvet, just because I don't have a separate Velvet one, but I need to have one. But anyway, yeah,
Okay.
it'll all be there. We haven't updated it yet. We're still signing contracts and going back and forth and stuff like that. So
who are you as a person?
who am I as
Mm-hmm.
a person? I don't know. I'm a singer. I'm a singer. I'm as a person, I'm a Christian. I'm what am I? That's a tough question.
How tough is it?
It's tough. I don't know.
Your mother.
I'm a mother. I mean,
so-
are those all the titles that you're looking for? I never think that I am. I just said something to someone yesterday. I said, at the core of who I am, I'm a worshiper. That's really the core of who I am. I was raised in the church. I had been doing singing in church for a while, and then we've stopped because we're just so busy. But I never think I'm doing good enough. I never feel like I'm working hard enough, or I'm as good as that singer, right? I'm always questioning myself and doubting myself. I do that a lot, and I'm learning to be better about it. Really, but I think that's what drives me to
Okay.
continue to work harder and do better and be better and put out a better product and represent our brand a certain way, and it just makes me work harder.
I think that's just because you're passionate about what you do. And Mico and I have talked about this. People that are passionate about what they do never think that they're giving you everything they have,
Yeah.
even though you have. As far as you're concerned, you can always fix something.
Yes.
You can always do better here or there.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. And I think I love that about what we do is, for myself anyway, I'm constantly, and I used to hate watching videos of myself sing. I hated it. He's like, oh, nope, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. But now I've learned, like, it's okay. It's okay. You screwed up that lyric. You did this, or, you didn't look a certain way or whatever. Just do better next time. Just grow
Learn
from
from
that.
it.
Learn
Just
from
learn
it.
from it,
And so
you know?
I'm learning. I'm learning that it's okay to make mistakes and not be perfect all the time. You know what I mean? Because I do want to be. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. But I guess does that answer your question? No.
How about you, Tweet? Who are you?
Who
I
are
mean,
you,
know,
Tweet?
I'm just a guy from West Texas that, I weld during the day.
Oh, yeah.
Daytime I'm a welder, and, play music. I've been playing music for 27 years, accordion, and, I still have a strong passion for it. You know what I mean? I still like being on stage. I love being in the studio as well. I like being in there and creating. It's fun. So, yeah, I'm just a guy that just likes to play his accordion and, try to make some money on the side, pay my bills,
Yeah.
keep mama happy over here. So,
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
3 years from now, where would you guys like to be as a band?
Ooh.
Where would you like
You
to be?
answer that
What
question.
would you like to have under your belt?
Well, I would like to have that hit we were talking about earlier.
Okay.
Definitely would
Yeah.
love to have that. But I think it's kind of a weird, tricky question, because I feel like we're already doing like a lot of the big shows that some of the big artists are doing already.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of like, well, maybe some other. I can't even really think of a show that I would want to do.
Vegas.
The Vegas Gran Baile would be nice.
Right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that'd be a great show to do. But I mean, I feel like I think we're establishing ourselves already. But as a band, I feel like I want our band to be more tighter as a band while we're on stage. Our shows, I want our shows to run a little smoother. So I'm really more looking forward to that. Like,
Yep.
I've been part of bands like when I was with Ellie that like we didn't even have to look at each other. We already knew where we're going, what's next, where are the hits, stuff like that. So I think by, in 2 to 3 years, I would love for my band to just sound like just
Right.
powerful and
Right.
great.
Okay.
So
on
in
stage.
so in 2 to 3 years, when you guys are playing like the AT&T Center and all these big
Oh,
venues,
man,
you guys are still gonna come back and visit the
Of
radio
course,
guys, right?
always. I've been listening to Jonny since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And,
Sorry to hear that, man.
And we appreciate, Johnny will throw out some advice to me
Oh,
on
yeah.
Messenger all the time and tweets like, Johnny doesn't do that with everybody. And I'm like, well, I welcome it.
Well,
I
some
welcome
call it advice.
Yeah. And
No.
like I said, some people just call me an a-hole, but that's okay.
I would
take all
never. I
criticism.
would never. No.
No, but
We
I mean,
appreciate it.
it's kind of like, look, Karma. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful song,
Yes.
but no hook.
Right. Right.
I mean, it
right.
paints a great picture.
No, yeah.
I can see it in a movie somewhere.
Yes.
But on the
Yes.
radio, it's just like,
Right.
okay.
Hurry up. Let it finish. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
not hurry up and finish. It's like, and nowadays, I don't know if you've noticed, before, correct me if I'm wrong, Gilbert, intros would be like 18 to 24 to 32 seconds long.
And now they're
Yes.
fast.
Now they're
Yeah, you get
6
'em.
seconds, you're into a
Yep.
song. 5 seconds, you're into the
Yep.
song. Because the time, people just don't have that time anymore.
Right.
That,
No, yeah. Everybody has a
yeah.
short attention span,
Yeah,
especially
very
with the way
short.
they consume social media. And they're you're just, if you don't like what you see, you just
Move
scroll
on.
right past, So no. So yeah, that is definitely one of the things we're considering when we're selecting the next, the music for the next album. So yeah, all of that, I appreciate all of that feedback. It doesn't hurt my feelings.
Yeah,
I'm
we're-
not going to go home and go, Johnny said it is my song.
Yeah,
No,
we're
I'm not gonna
very
do that.
open to criticism.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, man, Roger Contreras was one of my guys
Yeah.
that when I was with Moneda, he was the director of the band, and that guy would tell me straight up, you suck, or you need to go learn this.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just I'm used to that old school of, hey, you need to get it together,
Right.
but
Right.
like really old school, like
Right.
they'll
Yeah,
tell you,
not in a
Yeah.
there's none
nice
of this,
way.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
when you tell somebody you suck, it's kind of like if you're going to be critical, tell them what they can do to make it better.
Right.
Right.
Create,
right.
be
Sure.
at least, be helpful when you're
Right.
criticizing somebody.
And you do notice now
Definitely.
that any kind of constructive criticism, either that you give anyone, then it's not well received, and maybe it's how it's done, right?
It's the PC world.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
You have to be
Yeah.
very politically correct, and
Well, you don't really have to be, but
You don't.
you
but
can
then
get canceled,
Sure, yeah. You don't come back.
Definitely.
Yeah. So yeah. But I appreciate all that feedback. I really, really do. It's very helpful to me.
Yeah, anything that can help us, like as a band on our show. If you see one of our shows, hey,
Yeah.
maybe I should try this. I mean, we welcome it.
And you know
I mean?
what? I think
Definitely
it's
do.
funny that we do have a lot of people who've been in Tejano music for a long time that do give us constructive criticism. And
Yeah.
I think it's because they believe in what we're trying to do.
Right.
I feel like that's why they're doing it, not to bring us down, but to continue to help us elevate.
Right.
And so that is appreciated across the board for anyone who's ever, really given us that type of criticism. Ahora sí, like I might have 5, 10 people in my inbox, but no, we really do appreciate all of it. So yeah.
you didn't answer the question, though. You let him answer it,
What was the question?
Do you have a 3-year plan? It's kind of like,
I don't like saying this, but I'm gonna say it. When Tweet mentioned that we'd love to have the band, just we can power through everything. We don't play tracks. We're not a track band.
yeah.
And there are some even long term people who've been in Tejano music long term that play tracks.
Yeah.
And I don't have anything against it. I'm talking bands. I'm not talking about track singers, okay?
Right,
It's
right.
hard. It is so hard to manage a band. It is so hard to keep a band together. Even when, so-and-so can't make it in our band, here we are, trying to flip somebody around that knows our music. And I know I'm getting off subject, but what I'm trying to
isn't
say...
it crazy, though, while you mention that, isn't it crazy that as far as I know, Tejano's the only one that if your guy's missing, you can get somebody, hey, like, hey, Eddie, can you come and help us out? Or, hey, so-and-so.
Definitely.
Or,
Yeah.
hey, Gilbert Velasquez, can you come and help us out?
Right.
Gilbert's always helping people out. You know,
Right.
he's
For
always on
sure.
stage playing guitar.
Right. And that works, except they've got, except when they need to learn your original music. And then people are wondering, well, why don't you play your original music? Well, we got a fill-in that doesn't know our original music, So that's part of the thing. We're sending tie-ins, emails to everybody, to the guys who are sitting in, so that they know what our tie-ins are. They know how we perform, El Rey del Acordeon, things like that. So getting back to the fact that we are a live band, 100% live. And so what Tweet said was, we'd love to be tight, have a tight band where you don't have to look at each other. Everybody knows where you're going, what you're doing. That would definitely be a goal because it makes my job easier. This past weekend, was it yesterday? Saturday. I had the talk back mic, and so I'm trying to sing and doing let's go into this one. Let's change it. I'm changing stuff on calling audibles, and it was tricky. I'm not really the right one to be on the talk back mic, and he said, I don't want you on the talk back mic. Yes, sir. So, it's another one of those things. Okay, well, who's going to be on the talk back mic if Mikey's not there, So that's definitely one thing. I'm excited about this new album. I'm excited about some of the ideas that Mikey has thrown out. I'm like, okay. Or Little Eddie, or, I'm excited about that. Before I die and go to see my sweet Jesus, I'd love to have I'd strive for a Grammy. And, when I've heard people say, oh, I don't understand why that person was nominated, and I listened to all the albums. They were all very well produced, in my opinion.
They were nominated because they probably, sent their stuff in because, Gilbert and I have had this conversation. Tejano music is, I guess, not failing, but doesn't have a whole lot of representation because people are not sending their stuff in, right,
Well, it goes
Gilbert?
back to that.
Yeah, yeah. When that season comes around where people are submitting stuff, I'll get the call that, hey, listen, just so you know, the numbers are not there in the Tejano category, and if somebody doesn't reach out and look for submissions, then it's going to go by the wayside, and that's still very much true today.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, we keep hearing about that. So it's important for all the bands to submit,
Right.
and
So that being said, I'll make a couple of phone calls, and yes, there's people that out there that say, you know what, man, I'm not interested in that. Don't put it in there. Okay.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. But even I will say, I will help anybody get your album submitted, and because I know how to do it now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's important for the genre, to stay strong. So I may never achieve that accolade, but I'm going to work hard to. So that just means for me that I'm going to do the very, very, very best that I can in Tejano music to keep pushing for that great greatly produced project, and do it well. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep working hard. And even if I never achieve that, it's okay, because I know I would have done my very best.
Okay.
Don't fear greatness.
Ay, Chris. Puro U of H right here. What
Go Coug.
Hey,
great.
you have
I like
age.
that. I like
Puro
that.
U of
Yeah.
H.
Yeah.
And
So-
that's all it is. Just don't be afraid. Dale.
Dale, exactly. And I was a little more timid before, like,
a great
se
story,
cree
yeah.
mucho or whatever, I'm just facing forward.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's
All
it.
right. Now for the most important question of the night.
Oh,
When it comes
that
to
was a hard
family karaoke, who kicks ass? You, your mom, or your sister?
My sister, Melissa.
Really?
My sister, Melissa Bond, she is she's a worship leader. And she has this voice that just pierces, she's a stay-at-home mom. She homeschools her kids, and I truly believe she's in her house practicing every day. I truly believe that.
She's like, Thanksgiving coming around. I gotta get ready.
Oh yeah, and I forget. One of my other sisters said, "Look," and she was going over. I think. Sorry, Mel, if you weren't doing that, but she was going over what she was going to sing for karaoke. And we have this rule that everybody has their karaoke hit, and I cannot sing one of her hits. For karaoke. If you're going to do, that's Mel's song. So, but when we do get together, it's crazy. It's like a concert, and I don't even get to sing as much. But I come from a family of singers. Shout out to Melissa Bond. Kay Alamo actually played a recording of her singing at my house. She sang a song, and then my mom sang. My mom is 76 years old, and she can hold that note for the song that you have to see it. You have to watch it. I'm amazed at her age that she can do that. My sister Charisma, she is also a worship leader. And then my sister Michelle, she is a part of our bands, both Velvet and Moneda. She does backup vocals, and then she'll sing a song or two. So yeah, my grandmother was the OG vocalist of amazing Lucha Villa. You know, we were always listening to music as a kid, and those are the influences that that have music that has influenced me, and that's why I so love Tejano music, mariachi music, all that. So
yeah.
Very cool. And en lugar de decir, mija, hold my beer, she's going, hold this note. If you can.
Yeah. But definitely Melissa has grown into, I would say, the best singer of all of us. Yeah. Yeah. But it's saved for Jesus.
That's it. Hey, one of us, thank you so much. I mean, for making this day happen. And it's very, I'm having fun here, man. I get to meet all these people. So it's very, very fortunate to get to meet you guys, get to know you guys, and man, hear some good things about you, and looking forward to some really good things. Man.
Next time you're going to have to perform.
Yes, next time. And I'm so, I always say it was the stars aligned for us to be here, for this to be your last show of the year. And
no, actually,
how
Joe
blessed.
got sick. I'm kidding.
Thank God. You know what I'm saying? Thank God. I'm just kidding, Joe. I'm just kidding, Joe.
Yeah.
But no, thank you so much for having us and thinking of us. So.
Yeah, for sure. We appreciate you guys so much for allowing us to come up here and do the podcast with you guys.
Find you that signature song, girl.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
We're going to have to pass them all through you first, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. You and Gilbert.
I'll give
Johnny,
me a 6-year-old. I'll give me a 6-year-old to come with me so we can listen. Yeah.
They tell you the truth. They tell you the truth.
They never lie. They never lie. Hey, what is something that you'd like for us to ask you that we didn't ask you?
Gosh, you almost tried to ask my age.
That's
not going to fly. Yeah, no, I'm kidding. I don't know. What kind of ice cream I like? Or is this Tejano related?
What kind of ice cream do you like?
My favorite is Baskin Robbins Jamocha Almond Fudge.
Wait, is that even a flavor?
Jamocha Almond Fudge. Oh, it's
tastes
so
like
good.
coffee to me.
Joe moking that up, okay?
Jamocha, I'm not Jamocha. Jamocha what? Jamocha qué?
Joe making that up. No. Jamocha what?
Jamocha Almond Fudge.
Oh, okay.
It's really good.
Se me subieron las hormigas just hearing that. That sounds
so
damn
good.
sweet.
So good. No.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know. What else?
No, I think
Is there anything we didn't ask you? That
I can't think of anything. I think we covered pretty much everything.
And we cannot ask you. We cannot ask you if you're briefs or boxers. Okay, that's
no.
We can't ask that one.
My favorite accordion player, I guess. I don't know.
There you go.
There we go.
Who is your favorite accordion player?
Joel Guzman.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's my go-to guy right there, man.
And what happened when you met him?
Oh man, so
You didn't wet yourself, did you?
No, almost did.
Yeah.
No, we played. Well, we were at the Las Vegas convention this past year, and he was there. Mm-hmm. And I told her, I was like, we always come back on Sunday. So I was like, hey, well, Joel's playing Sunday, so we got to come back Monday.
Yeah.
So she was like, all right, that's cool. She's like, we'll do that. But at the convention, like everybody's in their booths and stuff like that. And I was walking around, and she was going to do an interview. So she's doing an interview, and I turn around, and I see Joel right there, like walking this way. I was like, oh man, I ran over there like a little kid. And then I was all trying to introduce myself. I couldn't even say my name and stuff. And I was like, oh man. So I took a picture with him and stuff, but no, I mean,
you never said your name?
No, I did. And it's funny. I mean, we're friends on Facebook and stuff like that, but I had never really had a chance to meet him, and stuff like that.
So what is your name?
My real name's Arthur Juarez.
King Arthur to everyone.
King Arthur, okay.
King Arthur.
Yeah,
okay.
Tweet for short,
Tweet.
huh?
Yeah, well,
How did you get Tweet?
So that was one of my tias when I was growing up. She was like, yeah, you used to watch the Tweety Bird cartoon, and so I just started calling you that, and it just stuck with me through my whole life. So
yeah.
I mean, a lot of people don't even know my first name. It's just really crazy. So
Arthur. Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
King Arthur. My bad.
King Arthur.
My bad. I stand corrected.
That's okay. Well, we also brought you some T-shirts.
Yeah, they're back here.
So Necio by Nature, and it has our website address, monedamusic.com, and the the king.
Necio by nature.
Necio by
Necio
nature.
by nature.
Because this one, like I said, I've learned so much slang. It is probably, I don't know why, necio, alalva. And I know all that from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, it has a little crown on top.
The crown, the king crown. That's
Arthur.
King Arthur. Yeah, that's where that comes from.
Okay.
And his favorite word is necio.
Necio.
That's his favorite
Does
adjective.
he call you Necia?
Yes.
Sometimes.
But he'll
Does
be
it
like,
get under your skin?
not at all.
No?
Not at
Okay.
all. So, and before I was like, God, I wish you'd use a different adjective for like that club was necio, or this traffic is necio, or
Yeah.
man, that girl was necio. Or that.
I mean, it works for
Constantly.
everything. Though.
I mean,
pretty
that's
much.
not-
It works for
but
everything.
now
so.
I'm saying it. Now I'm saying it. So he's rubbed off on me in not such a good way. That way. I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding.
Well,
So-
listen, guys. Thank you for coming out last minute. We appreciate it. We'll reschedule something where you and a couple of the guys
We'd
can
love
come
that.
in here and
We'd love that.
and put your when you find that signature song.
We're holding you to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're holding you to
No,
that.
no,
You're
no. You're
coming
welcome.
back.
You're
I'm all
welcome back,
pointing.
and you can pretty much bring the guys or a couple
love
of
that.
guys and
Yeah, for sure.
just the accordion, the guitar, and
Yeah.
maybe keyboards
And we can play tambourines.
Hey,
Hey.
you're welcome to it.
We can play tambourines.
No, we can't. No, we can't. But I mean, we'd love to have you back and
Okay.
just, keep us updated on how the Moneda music and who came up with the name Moneda. I don't think you ever
Oh yeah, we
answered
didn't
that
answer that.
question. Yeah.
I have a song on the Girls' Night album called Moneda por Moneda, and we were in Dallas. Tweet was at a gig, one of his gigs with Tex Latino, and we were hanging out with Jeremiah Martinez, who is with Jay Bettis now, and his friend Alex, and we were just talking about, we're ready to form a band. What would we call it? And we were throwing names out. We wanted a one-word name, like Velvet, it's Velvet. And I was looking at my songs, and I said, how about Moneda? And everybody was like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it, So I don't know,
It felt good.
it felt good.
It kind of stuck with us at the time, and I was like, "Hey, I like it." You know what I
Okay.
mean? It's something that's a little different.
So that's why it means coin, and
No, really?
yes, Johnny, yes.
Okay.
And but golly, 3 of y'all,
I thought it was money.
3, and so I say it's money like this, money. That we're bringing the money. We're getting the money. We're bringing.
Esa es feria, marmaja,
Feria.
cueritos de rana, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
That's los cueritos de rana. Órale.
Yeah.
Make
the
it
frog
rain,
back.
papa.
Yeah.
uh-huh.
So yeah.
Those frog skins. In
Los
English.
frog skins. Ándale. So
Yeah.
So anyway, that's how we came up with the group Moneda.
Well, thanks for coming in last minute. We,
Yes.
appreciate it completamente.
course.
And continued success.
Thank you.
We'll set something up here at the
Okay.
beginning of the year where you can come back and
We would
if you've
love
got
that.
some new material you want to try on the show,
Oh,
ponle.
we'd love that.
Definitely.
We'd love
Yeah,
that.
let's do
That's
that.
gonna put some pressure on Mikey and Eddie and all of us. Get the best one.
No pressure,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
But
So,
I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, a
Thank
Happy
you.
New Year,
Thank
and
you.
just
Same.
be blessed. Speaking of New Year's, top resolution.
oh gosh, top resolution
Yeah.
is I don't know. I don't have one. You caught me off guard.
Okay, tweet.
I don't do them.
Mine is to be better than what I was this past year.
Okay.
Oh, that's
know.
easy.
And I went through a lot this past year, so
did.
I'm going through the 1 year that my father passed away. So I was
Sorry
kind
to
of
hear that, man.
well,
Yeah.
thank you.
It's rough, dude.
So it was
Yeah.
a rough year for
Yeah.
me. So now I'm kind of like trying to look forward and trying to be. I picked myself up. You know how they say pick yourself up
Yeah.
by your bootstraps, right? And I did, and so. I think things are going a lot better. So this coming up year, I want to be better than what I was this past
Yeah.
year. So.
It's the little things that flash you back, and
Oh, yeah.
sometimes it's a good memory, but
Oh,
with the
man,
the
yeah.
good memory comes the fact that he's no longer here.
Definitely.
And that kind of
It
throws
could
you
be a
in-
smell, like
Yeah.
just a certain smell, and
Yeah.
you're just like, oh man.
Yeah,
you
and
know,
it,
so-
it throws you into this dark room, and you're
Yeah.
going, man,
No.
I need to get the heck out of
Truly.
here and just get back to your positive side. But
Definitely,
yeah, man,
definitely.
you got to work on yourself.
Yes,
man.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Truly. And yeah, it was a different place, right? It was
Oh,
a
yeah.
different place, and so he's come a long way. I'm really proud of him, for many reasons, but definitely that too. So yeah,
It was just probably those papas con huevo that you made this
it
morning.
was. I'm such a great
With the
cook.
bacon, yeah.
With the bacon.
With the
The
bacon.
bacon,
I like it.
yeah. No, thank y'all so much again for being here, Gilbert. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I tell them what you told me that one time or nah?
I don't even remember what are we talking about here. What embarrassment.
Remember?
A
You
very
don't
shy
remember?
person.
You don't remember?
Come on, you remember.
You remember? Come on.
I'm gonna say it, Gilbert, but I love you.
Sure,
you know,
whatever.
Okay. we were at the Tejano explosion one time, and you know, I was commenting about the fact that there were no female singers on on the lineup. Is this okay for me to say? Tweet's like,
might as well.
cut. And I was like, hey, Gilbert, why aren't there why aren't there any female singers on the lineup? And he was sitting in the back. I guess he was going to go up and play. And he goes, well, do you know any good ones? Like, let me go get my owl. Hold on.
I didn't.
He says,
I don't remember that. You're making that up.
I'm making it up. Okay,
I'm a nice guy.
I'm making it up.
Everybody knows me. I'm a nice guy.
There's quantity in every genres of music, okay? Quality, the quality always rises to the top, and I think our genre is no different than any other. So there can be a gazillion of them. We were talking about that. It's kind of like you grab 20 songs and you're only going to pick 3,
yeah.
Right,
Definitely.
yeah.
So it's basically the same with singers, both male and female.
Sure.
There's no difference.
Right.
Females can hold her, when you find a good one, that she can hold her place with the men of the world.
Yeah.
When it comes to our género de música. So
Yep.
yeah. But again, guys, thank you
Thank
much.
you.
We
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Mico.
Sinceramente, this portion of the podcast, again, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. If you get into problems, and my grandmother in paz descanse used to say, mijo, después de la medianoche no pasa nada bueno, and she was right. You get that call at 3 a.m, it's either your best friend, a family member, that primo that nobody likes, but he always calls you necio because he wants you to get him out of jail. 210-225-2121. You can start the bonding process online at mybestbails.com. It's mybestbailbonds.com, and get him out of jail real quick. You can also call. There's oficinas throughout San Antonio 24/7. Again, nobody beats her price. Payment plans available. And yes, discretion, the name of the game. You can also text the word bail to 474747. Boom. And if you're the one in jail, memorize the number, because trust me, officer, could you get me the phone so I can call my bail bonds company? No. It's 210-225-2121. Anywhere in Texas, if you're going to a Dallas game, a Houston game, or maybe you're going to Chucotown, or maybe my part of the country, the El Bayuco, and you get a little cross there with the law, 210-225-2121. Oficinas throughout San Antonio, and they're open 24/7, 365, even on holidays. It's AA Best Bail Bonds. Tell them you heard it here on the Radio Guys podcast.
The Radio Guys Podcast with Recordando Nuestras Raíces. And this week, we shine the spotlight on the father of conjunto music, Narciso Martinez. Martinez, nicknamed El Huracán del Valle, was born on October 29, 1911 in Reynosa, Tamaulipas, Mexico. When Martinez was an infant, his family emigrated to the U.S. and moved to La Paloma, Texas, near Brownsville, where he was raised. His parents were migrant farm workers, and Martinez received no formal education. He had one brother named Santos Martinez.
In 1928, after he married his wife Edwina, Martinez learned how to play the one-row diatonic accordion from the local German and Czech families around Bishop. In 1930, Martinez was able to purchase a 2-row button Hohner accordion and began collaborating with bajo sexto player Santiago Almeida. After they received enthusiastic responses at dances, a local furniture store owner and talent broker Enrique Valentin heard them, gave Martinez his nickname, and persuaded recording director Eli Oberstein to record them for the Bluebird label. This established a new sound which quickly became identifiable as Texas Mexican conjunto music.
In 1936, Martinez and Almeida started recording for Bluebird Records, a subsidiary of RCA. Their first record, La Chicharronera, The Crackling, became a big hit. After 1936, Martinez became the most prolific of the conjunto stylists, capable of recording up to 20 pieces in in one session. He continued to record instrumental polkas, which were his most popular compositions, and other traditional forms such as huapangos and bohemian redabas for the Bluebird label until 1940. Some of his early pieces were La Parrita, the Little Grapevine, La Polvadera, the Dust Cloud, and Los Coyotes, all of which reflected his close ties to his rural background.
Don Narciso, the first widely successful conjunto recording artist, made hundreds of recordings and mostly instrumental dance tunes, emphasizing the medley side of the accordion and leaving the bass parts to Almedia. In those years that Martinez earned his reputation as El Huracán del Valle, he made 59 recordings. They played local dances and festivals around Brownsville and Raymondville. Martinez would expand his music into Cajun and polka, issuing records under a pseudonym Louisiana Pete and Polish Joe.
In the 1940s, Martinez purchased a now standard 3-row button accordion. During World War II, there was a lack of materials due to the war effort, so most musicians were unable to make recordings. After the war had ended, Martinez was one of the first musicians to resume recording, this time with Ideal Records, a small Mexican-American label co-founded by Paco Betancourt in San Benito. During his tenure with Ideal as the house accordionist for this company, he accompanied some of its artists, notably the duet Carmen y Laura. Martinez remained a popular performer throughout the 1940s. With the success of Martinez's recordings came an increased demand for public performances.
In the 1950s, he joined other Mexican Americans on the Tex-Mex dance hall circuit, touring areas of New Mexico, Arizona, and California. Martinez played hundreds of performances while actually earning a living as a farm worker. By the 1960s, Martinez had settled back in the Rio Grande Valley in the small town of San Benito, where he continued to play at hundreds of Saturday night dances, weddings, fiestas, and other community celebrations. A new generation of conjunto musicians emerged in the mid-60s, and Martinez returned to work as a field hand in Florida.
In 1968, he recorded for Oro Records, a Tex-Mex label in McAllen. Despite the subsequent emergence of other accordionists, Martinez maintained his importance as a conjunto innovator and received accolades for his work. In 1976, for instance, he was featured in Chulas Fronteras, Beautiful Borders, a documentary film about Texas-Mexican music. Martinez was an inaugural inductee into the Tejano Roots Hall of Fame in 2000. The Texas Conjunto Music Hall of Fame in San Benito honored him with an induction in 2002. He is also an inductee into the Houston Institute for Culture's Texas Music Hall of Fame.
More accolades were to come for Martinez, as he was a recipient of the 1983 National Heritage Fellowship Award by the National Endowment for the Arts, which is the U.S. government's highest honor in the folk and traditional arts. The 1985 publication of Manuel Peña's A Texas-Mexican Conjunto, History of a Working Class Music, brought Martinez critical attention. In 1989, our Hooli Records reissued some of his work. The new record earned him a nomination for the Grammy Award for Best Mexican American Recording of the Year. In 1991, the San Benito Cultural Arts Center was dedicated to him. Martinez passed away of leukemia on June 5, 1992 in San Benito, Texas.
Today, we're proud to feature and remember El Huracán del Valle, Narciso Martinez, on the Radio Guys, recordando nuestras raíces. Yes, one of our biggest legends. Just enjoyed putting that one together.
Man, they played fast back in the day, right, dude?
They did.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was the music or if it was because of the 78 record, because the 78 used to go, 78 RPMs. And so I don't know if it sounded fast, but that's the way they played it.
Tú estás bien educated.
Don't let me fool you. Don't let me fool you.
No, but I mean, even in the videos that I was like, oh, damn.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I don't know if that was a tempo thing, but then Tejano came and slowed it down.
Yeah,
just a bit.
okay.
So, very cool, very cool. Tell you what's very cool right now too is we've been talking about it for the last 10 weeks about this guitar that's been all over the place. And let me show everybody.
Did you just say guitar?
Guitar.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Pues that's my countryside coming out. Let me show you what we got here. We got this guitar has been around. It was Jay Perez. He signed that for us. The voice himself. Además, Destiny and Rigo. They just put it together. They were just here. And ¿quién más? The Delta. I kind of snuck into their band. That's the Delta Boys, and they had them sign it. And of course, your amigo Lucky Joe, all the way from Elsa Ed Couch. He was signing on this. There's the Ramster, Rambo.
Rambo.
Yeah, I gave that. And Joey, got to say hi to Joey. And also, I can't see. I don't have my glasses. That's Rigo.
That's Rigo, yeah.
And then there's us. Yes. And then tonight, we had our special guest tonight. She signed it as well, Ann Tweet. So
Angelica and Tweet.
Angelica and Tweet. Yes, I said that right.
Angelique.
Angelique.
Yeah.
Okay, I am.
Are you confused?
I'm confused already.
So am I. You know.
Either one. I'll just call you.
You can call her whatever you want, so long as you don't call her late for dinner. Damn it. Yeah.
And también we got Jesse Turner. I didn't get any picture, but Jesse Turner's on here as well. And so the Conjunto
Los
Cats.
Arcos.
Los Arcos
Yeah,
también.
Conjunto Cats.
Yeah.
Everybody's on there.
It is. This is and this
Don't
is
break
one.
the damn thing.
I know, my belt buckle, pinche belt buckle. And this is going to be out of our hands here really soon, and in some lucky person's hand who shared and liked the Radio Guys. So,
Yeah. And by the way, keep subscribing to our YouTube channel. It's the Radio Guys podcast. Our Facebook page is Radio Guys PC. And if you have an event that you would like to promote in 2025, being as how the brand new year is just around the corner, 16 days for the new year, dude. Damn. 8 and whatever is left of today, shopping days left, okay? So just thought I'd let you know, dude.
Thank you. What size again do you wear? I forget.
I don't have to worry about it because I buy all my stuff at CVS and Circle K, so I'm good, you know. Puro last minute, vato, juez. So,
It's todo. So you picked us a winner out tonight that's going to take this home.
yeah.
Who
So
you-
the winner is?
The winner is, go ahead. It is,
Necio. Mónica Angelica Navarro. Mónica Angelica Navarro, congratulations. You are the winner of the autograph acoustic guitar. It's got all those people that have been on the podcast and threw in a couple of extras with Jay and Ram. So again, we thank everybody. If you have any questions, have information you'd like to send us, it's the radio guy. It's info@theradioguys.com.
no,
Info at the radio
Guys PC.
The Radio Guys PC, perdón.
Yes.
Info at the radioguys.pc.com. Right there. Learn how to read, Johnny. Okay. All right. I'm not a college graduate like this guy, but it's info at the radioguys.pc.com. Send us information to any event. If you have any questions pertaining to the show, if you want to be a sponsor on the show, just send all that stuff there. Aviéntanos un email. And again, congratulations to Mónica Angelica Navarro, big-time winner.
Same name.
And we'll have something else to give away. And again, we're going to be off till the 13th. Just a quick reminder, on the 23rd, we're going to have a Christmas show. We'll do some Christmas music. A lot of our artists performed a Christmas song.
And
they all did
Gilbert's
the
gonna-
same song, so it's going to be on loop. No, I'm kidding.
And Gilbert's going to dress up as Santa Claus and do jingle bells for us.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be the Grinch, damn it. And then, of course, on the 30th, it'll be a best of, and all the live performances we're going to repeat for you on the 30th. So if you're having a little holiday cheer, a little eggnog, spiked or not, you can tune in and you can get a lot of squeeze box, a lot of great music. So again, thanks to everybody that joined us this year for our first podcast ever. Hopefully it's a little different than the others. I know there's a ton of podcasts out there, and some are better, some are worse. I hope we're somewhere in between. We're learning as we go along, but we just want to keep the conversation going as far as what we get on the radio, just in more depth. ¿Verdad, Gilbert?
Something like that.
Definitely. All right.
And I think one of the biggest differences is that everybody gets to see me screw up live while it really happens. And I've lived up to it. So
You know, I'm a professional at screwing up, dude, so there you go. But want to say again, thank you to executive producer, Grammy Award-winning Gilbert Velasquez, video and technical director,
Yes,
Albert
sir.
Velasquez, and of course, our social butterfly in charge of all our social media, Lexi Rodriguez, okay? Does she have 2 or just 1?
just one. She
Okay.
only has one.
Okay, all
She
right.
has
Okay.
one.
All right, just checking.
Okay, yeah. it's
All
good.
right.
I
You
only
good?
we're good. We're good.
All right.
We're good here.
All right. The opinions and comments on this podcast do not reflect the opinions of those people we work for or work alongside with. They're strictly from the sick and demented minds of Mico Rodriguez and yours truly, Elione Ramirez. Some assembly required. Batteries and TTNL not included. We hope that you enjoyed the show. And again, we will return with a live show on the 13th. And for now, colorín colorado, este show se ha acabado. Ya lo hubo con el tubo, se acabó el toothpaste, peace, and taco grease.
The Radio Guys podcast was powered by AA Best Bail Bonds at 210-225-2121. Stress-free bail bonds 24/7, 365, anywhere in San Antonio. 210-225-2121.